This is my top 12 valuable varieties or errors that I look for in Washington quarters from 1965 to 1989. My name is Daniel and you are watching Coin Help You. Thanks for watching my latest video. We're going to talk about Washington quarters from 1965 to 1989 and what to look for in your pocket change. These are my cherry picks that I look for that are most valuable. I want to also tell everyone that from 1965 to 1989 there are more varieties and errors to be found than this, but these are just my picks. Also, please use Konica Variety Vista, Wexler's Double Dice, and also Cherry Picker's Guide or Strike It Rich with Pocket Change to find or help identify these varieties or errors. It's very important. Error-reference.com is another very important resource. Look your coin up, try to match it, and if you think you found a match, then go look for help. If you think you found a discovery coin, then go to the appropriate area of the Konica site, look down through, send the coin off to the appropriate person. You send them an email, ask them about your coin. That's what they do. So let's get started. The first thing that I want to start off with is the two-tailed quarter. These quarters are believed to be struck from 1965 to 1967. No one's for sure, but they are definitely clad, meaning non-silver, so they're after 1965. When you go down through this CoinWord article, you can see this, how much they're supposed to weigh, exactly their millimeter and what their size is. And that's one of the things that you have, it's very important. It has to weigh normal, and it can't have a seam where someone might have made a magician's coin or a trick coin or a fake error. So you have to watch out for that. There are a lot of two-tailed and two-headed coins out there. Next is the 1965, and this is the double die verse. It's the FS102, and it's hard to see it in this image, but you're looking for the double die on the obverse side. And I'm using Heritage Coin Auctions images and give you an idea of what to look for here on them whenever there's a good enough picture. But here, it sold for $720 and it graded mint state 65. Another thing to look for, a 1965 struck on a 90% silver planchet. This is very important. This planchet must weigh the same as a 90% quarter from 1964 to 1932. It can't weigh anything else. It has to be in that range, in that tolerance. This coin here graded AU58 and it sold for $14,687. Now here's a 1966. This is a double die obverse, the FS801. This one was scratched, very fine details. It still sold for $144, so it's worth finding. Like I said, the double dies on the reverse. If you get on the CoinFacts, if you go to PCGS CoinFacts, you can see some better images of it. 1968D, this is the double die reverse as well. This graded mint state 65, went for $1,800. Now it's not easy to get a mint state 65. A lot of times you have to get those out of mint sets or actual original rolls. You're not going to find them in your change. Although you can find this variety in your change, the higher grade ones you're not. As you can see, it's a little bit of the doubled here and on the I in United. Like I said, you just need to look at the images. Sometimes you have to go to other sites. Sometimes CoinFacts is one of the better sites to look. Here's another 1970D. It's a double die obverse, and this one graded mint state 65. It's FS102, and this is the discovery coin. It was actually holdered, and it's $2,875, including the buyer's premium. So when you're looking for these, you definitely can click on the images, and you can look for what is doubled on it. And the Liberty is, you can see it if I bring it up really close, that here's the line, the doubled, and it's actually extra thick. One thing to look out for is die deterioration on the quarters. That should never be mistook for the double die. Okay, you're looking for an actual thickness of the lettering, not a spreading out or lines all over the lettering or outlining the letter. Here's a 1970D, and this is struck on 10-cent stock. Now, this goes back to the 1965 on a 90% quarter planchet, which is silver. The thing with this is that this is actually the thickness of a dime. Even though this was struck on a 10-cent stock, it was as thin as a 10-cent stock. Whereas the 90% silver 1965 is actually on the same thickness as a regular quarter. So that's the distinction to be made when it comes to the wrong stock. Now this can be fine for other dates as well. And as you can see, graded AU55, it sold for $182, so it's got some value to it. Here's a 1971D, and this is a double die reverse. And you can go into the images and you get an idea of what it's supposed to look like. Next is the 1971 double die reverse. And this one sold for $8,812, and it graded PCGS MS65. It's the FS 801. And they got a pretty good image on here, so you can actually see where it's doubled at. It's very important to match your coin to this image. You're not looking for lines off to the side or where it comes in, it cuts into this area, makes it smaller. You want to look at, it's supposed to be larger, thicker. 1976 double die reverse. This is the FS 101. $810 is how much this sold for. And I have the image here. You can click on it. And as I said, you can always go to Heritage and look at the image. You can go to Coinfax and look at the images. And so it's very important to identify exactly. You want to match it exactly with this. You know, I know there's some more listed on Konica Variety Vista. They're not worth as much as some of these, but they list a few more. So does Wexler's double dies. Here's a 1989. And what I put this up here for, this actually has the P mint mark, and the P mint mark's right here. Well, some of them were struck with what they call a clogged die, and a die that was filled with grease, and it failed to strike the P. Okay, if there's no remnant at all of the P, some of them have a little bit of a premium. The values aren't really there. It's not really high grade, or it's not really a high value coin, but it's worth looking for. But it can't have any remnant of the P at all. And finally, we're looking at the 1989D RPM. I don't have an image for this. Konica has need specimen for study. So if you know of one, you got a picture, send me an email. But it must be a D over D. It must be an actual RPM. And one thing about this is that that's the last year for RPMs. So after that, you're not going to find any more. So anyways, that concludes the video for Washington quarter errors and varieties to find in your pocket change from 1965 to 1989. Thanks for watching my latest video. Please like, share, and comment, and click that little bell beside the subscribe button, and have a great day.